Hello, my name is Mark Hendels. I'm Vice President of Marketing of SALTO Systems. Maybe some of you still remember this SALTO virtual network video that we did a couple of years ago. Since then, many things have happened. We have grown the company much more since then. We have installed many more locks all over the world. But we've also developed exciting new technology. And that's what we want to talk about today. Today I'm going to explain you a little bit more about our new exciting wireless lock technology. When we started back in 2001, SALTO had the idea to revolutionize the access control world. The idea was to bring access control to as many of doors as we could. And that of course required non-wired systems. The first system was a wire-free system. And the trick was the data on card, SALTO virtual network technology, where we put the access rights on the card rather than into the lock. And that meant that we could move not only our systems into hotels, but also in much more applications like commercial applications, universities, and government buildings. Since the last 2 years, many new customers have come on board. Some of them very large projects like the University in Würzburg in Germany or the American University in Cairo. The national television in Holland, the NOS buildings, have also equipped all their doors with SALTO systems. But also high-end hotels like the Waldorf Astoria in Dakota have now decided to go with SALTO. And we're of course also very proud on government projects like the Federal Parliament in Brussels. SALTO was the first company to develop electronic access control using data on card technology. And that brought many features already to the possibility of installing electronic locks to the doors. Data on card did almost everything that you could imagine for an electronic locking system. There was only one thing that people might ask to add to the system, and that was the real-time component. So now imagine that you're able, with one mouse click, to control your whole building, to see who goes through the doors, to see whether a door remains open, delete a card on the click of a mouse. Well, that is now also possible, because we have added to the existing data on card system the wireless real-time online component. This system is the first bidirectional wireless system where we can manage in one project tens of thousands of doors and tens of thousands of users. We can use on some doors the existing SVN technology, whereas on other doors we use the SVN technology enhanced by the online wireless component. So with one small click on a mouse you can control your whole building. So let me now show you through this little video and with some interaction how it works and what it really can do for you. As promised, we're going to look a little bit more at the details of our wireless system. The SALTO wireless system is an ideal solution for those customers that want an online real-time access control system but do not want or cannot hardwire all the doors and all the walls. So what elements do you need to use our SALTO wireless system? Well, it's basically the next four. It's the electronic locks, the gateways, the repeaters, and of course the SALTO software platform. Regarding the electronic locks, let me start by saying that in reality the electronic locks in SALTO are electronic escutcheons or electronic handle sets. By doing that, we have made our electronic locking system compatible with most of the worldwide available mortise locks. The European, the Scandinavian, the American mortise locks, or even the Australian mortise locks are all compatible with our system. And a mechanical door, simply by taking off the mechanical handle set and putting on an electronic handle set of SALTO, turns into an access control system. And now, into an online access control system. The wireless technology that we have decided to use is the IEEE 802.15.4 technology. And we talk at a frequency of 2.4 gigahertz. Of course, the security is a very important element in an access control system, and that's why we have encrypted all the communications with an AES 128-bit encryption method. We even gone a step further. We are not only compatible with different locks, we also have different solutions. We have different solutions for panic bars. Just imagine to have a wireless online panic bar solution for all your exit doors, or to have a wireless online solution for glass door locks without physically changing the glass door. And of course, we've even thought of something else. Some of our customers might actually not be able to take the decision to go wireless the day they buy the access control system. And that's why we have also available now what we call the wireless ready escutcheons, which basically have all the electronics that make it possible to switch to wireless whenever you're ready for it, without making additional heavy investments or big infrastructure changes. And all this is possible simply by putting batteries in the escutcheons. And I insist, I talk about standard batteries, no expensive specific battery packs, and I'm also not talking about additional battery packs in the door. Simple standard batteries fitted into the escutcheons. All our electronic solutions are compatible with the mainstream RFID technologies, like MyFair and Desfire, and the new technologies like Desfire Evolution 1. But we also use iClass of HID and Logic, or PicoPass. All the mainstream RFID technologies that you already use are also available in the SALTO range. The system is very energy optimized. It goes asleep when it can go asleep, and it wakes up immediately when it needs to communicate in one or in the other direction. This makes it possible that our escutcheons have a battery life that comes very close to our standard electronic escutcheons. We have given our escutcheon special features like self-organizing and self-healing capabilities. The self-organizing capabilities are very useful when setting up the system. The locks, the electronic escutcheons, will look for the best repeater or best gateway to talk to, without us needing to tell the locks which one that is. Whereas the self-healing capabilities are extremely useful during the life of the installation. When something happens, a repeater goes offline, or something else changes, the lock will look for alternative routes to get back to the system. Very important though, is that if the lock goes offline, nothing happens. The events are stored into the lock during the time that the lock is offline, and most importantly, as the lock is still a data on card system, no valid user will be left outside. All valid cards are still valid on the escutcheon, and people can still go through the doors. So basically, that leaves us with the explanation of the SALTO platform, the software. You don't need to be a telecom engineer to do the setup of the system. It is extremely easy. By placing the repeaters and the gateways in fixed positions, the rest of the system is completely self-organizing. Basically, by a click on the button of the mouse, you will be able to make the whole installation of the system. And very important, remember that with the SALTO system, you can manage at the same time our online hardwired doors, our new wireless locks, and our SALTO virtual network offline locks, all in one SALTO platform. This is all infrastructure, but let's now look at why we're doing all this. What are the features for the end user that the SALTO wireless system brings? So now let's take a look which features and benefits our wireless system offers to the end user. Let's first go to the electronic lock itself. Important to understand is that our wireless lock system still is also, in the core of it, a data on card system. That means that denied access or access granted is done locally. The lock looks into the card and sees if that card at a certain time is valid to grant access. That is done instantly without any loss of time. However, the wireless system adds to that feature that we already had in our standard SVN system, the fact that now the audit is sent back to the central system in a real-time mode. So the system manager will be able to see who, when, and where a person went through the door. He will also be able to see if somebody with a denied access, with a rejection, is trying to get into the building or to get in through some of the doors within the building. Another feature is the battery status, which is also a very important point in a wireless online system. The battery status is communicated every time that there is a communication made between the lock and the system. However, also other options are now displayed in a real-time mode. Systems or functionalities that until now were not possible in an SVN mode. Think about a door that is left open because something is between the door frame and the door. Now that will be detected in less than a minute if the door stays too open too long. Another different thing of a security problem is what we call an intrusion problem. So somebody tries to open a door without presenting first a card by using a crowbar or by kicking in the door. The door contact will now tell that that door is opened without first presenting a card from the outside. That will instantly trigger a door intrusion alarm. We also detect outgoing openings. Also a very interesting thing, for instance, when we apply it to exit doors that are always open from the inside. But we don't always want people to go out the building through an exit door. We can also now see that in a real-time mode. A very interesting opening mode is as well the remote opening. Through the software, we will be able to open a door remotely. So if we see through the CCTV system that somebody is asking for access without having a card, we might grant them access remotely. Other things that we can do is the setup of the doors. Just imagine an area where you have seminars and where people want to have access without having cards because they're only there for a very short period of time. Now without the use of office mode cards or other systems, we can now remotely decide to open a certain door for a certain period of time so that people can go in and go out of that door without using a card. And last but not least, we also have the possibility to do a lockdown, a partial lockdown or a complete lockdown of all the wireless doors in the building. That would be something that is very useful in an emergency situation where you want people to stay in the areas where they're in and they cannot go from one area to the other without losing, of course, their access rights once that emergency situation is over. That is also a very interesting feature that we have added to our wireless system. Then we come to another group of features that is extremely important. Key cancellation. Denying access to cards that were before valid into the system. SVN was already extremely powerful. We had this system where the cards itself could communicate to the individual locks which other cards were deleted out of the system. Now we can do that instantly, in real time. By just deleting a card, it will be communicated to the wireless locks that a certain card was lost or stolen. But very powerful is that even if that card that has been denied found its way into the building, the moment that it touches one of the wireless updated locks, it's not only that the card is rejected, the card gets deleted and will also not get access to the SVN standard locks that have not received the blacklist information in a real-time mode. So you can see that we really have made the system integrated. The wireless system reinforces the data on card system rather than replaces it. Another great feature is that in the unlikely event of a network failure, the electronic locks still work because the core, the backbone of the system is data on card. And when I mean that it works, I mean that it works for all valid users. Not only just a couple of system managers. No. Everybody that had access to a certain door before the network failure will also have access during the network failure, because it reads the information on the card. That's very powerful. It's really comforting knowing that you do not only depend on the wireless system in order to keep your building up and running. Let's take a look at the summary of the main features and the main benefits that the SALTO wireless system brings you. Let me start with the main advantage of the system, which is the fact that now SALTO has 3 possibilities to control your doors. You have the online hardwired IP points that we also use to update the cards. You have the SVN wire-free locks that work with a data on card backbone. And we now also have these same data on card locks with a wireless real-time capability. We have installed all these features in many different versions. You can have them on the standard escutcheons, you can have them on exit doors, on panic bar solutions, and even on glass door locks. The features of the system can be summarized in the following points. You have now real-time audit trailing. You have real-time door control. So an intrusion alarm or a door that remains open for too long. And even the possibility to do a lockdown in an emergency situation. You have the real-time battery control. Real-time key control, so you are able to delete the cards on the spot. And even to delete those cards at the locks itself, so that they also cannot be used on the SVN points. And of course you have the possibility to track the users inside of the building. So basically you have the possibility to now control any door in the building through SALTO system technology. Either the online points, the wireless points, or the wire-free points. The benefits may also be clear. It's a simple system. Simple to install through the self-organizing capabilities. Simple to maintain through the self-healing capabilities. And simple to manage through our software platform. It's flexible. By the use of repeaters, we can add new locks simply, even though we have only a few Ethernet access points. The system is very reliable. On one hand, because we use as a backbone our own SALTO virtual network technology. And on the other hand, we use as the wire-free technology proven standard technology to make sure that the system works at all times. Security is also a very important point of the system. So all the communications that go wireless are encrypted by AES 128-bit. And all of this in a very cost-effective way. So the fact that there is no need for wires, and that we have a very simple infrastructure where repeaters and gateways can talk to many locks, make this a system that allows you to spend your money in the right way and control as many doors as you can in a very cost-effective way. So if after this little video you're still interested to learn more about our system and to see what the whole SALTO system can do for you, just click on this email, send us or give us a phone call, and a SALTO person will step by to talk to you about our system and explain in detail the benefits and the features of our system. Thank you, and see you soon.